Just 15 minutes on foot and on a limestone hill high up above the city is home to the most iconic ancient citadel and the symbol of Greece, the Acropolis of Athens. As Acropolis is one of the most famous ancient archaeological sites in the world, this is one attraction I consider a must-see, even if you have to let go of other attractions. Now I know during your layover you probably really want to see the Acropolis, but realistically if you can see the lineup, sometimes it go up to 2 hours, and also you have to hike up to the top. What I recommend is if you're short in time or have a really short layover, go over to the Acropolis Museum. You get to see lots of artifacts, and also cheaper too. The Acropolis of Athens began on the lower slope of the Acropolis Hill. On the southern slope is a structure of Theatre of Dionysus, the first orchestra terrace constructed on the site around mid to late 6th century BC with a capacity up to 17,000. On the southwest slope is a larger the Odeon Theater. It was built in 161 AD by the Greek Herodes Atticus in the memory of his Roman wife. Originally a steep slope theater with a 3-story stone front wall and a wooden roof made of expensive cellar of Lebanese timber. It was used as a venue for music concerts with a capacity of 5,000. It lasted intact until it was destroyed and left in ruin by the Heruli in 267 AD until it was restored using Pentelic marbles in the 1950s. Since then it has been a main venue of the Athens Festival, which runs from May through October each year, featuring a variety of acclaimed Greek as well as international performances. You beat the lineup, that doesn't mean it's done now. The hike takes about 15 minutes or so to get up here. Look at this. Not many people because you're really able to enjoy it more when it's less crowded. So let's take our final steps up there and try to enjoy as much as we can. The Acropolis rises 500 feet above the sea level with a surface area about 7.4 acres. During the ancient time, it was known more properly as Cicopia, after the legendary serpent man Cecrops, the supposed first Athenian king. The Acropolis has been inhabited since the prehistoric times. Over the century, the Acropolis has been many things. In addition to a home to the kings, a citadel, it was also a mythical home to the gods, a religious center, and today a tourist attraction. Well, ladies and gentlemen, finally, welcome to Acropolis of Athens. In Greek, Akrop, the first part means the highest point or the peak, and polis means the city. So, welcome to the highest peak in the city. Well, there's evidence the hill was inhabited as far back as the 4th millennium BC, and the Acropolis flat top is the result of thousands of years of construction, beginning as far back as the Bronze Age. It wasn't until Pericles, a prominent and influential Greek statesman and the general of Athens in its golden age, who coordinated the construction of the site's most important present remains, including the Parthenons in the 5th century BC. Undoubtedly, this is the most famous building here in all of Greece, the Parthenons, and it's a former temple dedicated to the patron goddess of Athens, Athena, and it's built during the height of the Athenian Empire between 447 to 432 BC. The Parthenon is the most important surviving building and regarded as the enduring symbol of classical Greece, Athenian democracy, and Western civilization. Its decorative sculptures are considered some of the high point of Greek art. The Parthenon itself replaced the older Temple of Athena, which historians call the pre-Parthenon or older Parthenon, that was destroyed during the Persian invasion of 480 BC. Like most Greek temples, it served as a practical purpose as the city treasury. To the Athenian who built it, the Parthenon and other Periclean monuments of the Acropolis were seen as fundamentally as a celebration of Hellenic victory over Persian invaders, and as a thanksgiving to the god for that victory. In the final decade of 6th century, the Parthenon was converted into a Christian church and dedicated to the Virgin Mary. While the Parthenon was the most impressive temple on the Acropolis, the old Temple of Athena was built to accommodate the religious ritual and to house an ancient wood cult statue of Athena. The temple was a replacement for a previous building damaged on the Acropolis following the Persian attack on the city in 480 BC, and was funded by surplus from the war treasury. Now this is a smaller but also very iconic temple which are dedicated to goddess Athena, Parthenon, Erechtheum, and other deities. It was constructed between 421 to 406 BC, and during the 1970s and 80s, the reconstruction and restoration work began using the original cast of blocks and columns which are now found in British Museum. There are 5 or 6 statues inside this temple which are now removed and put in the preservation at the Acropolis Museum. On the way down, there's an ancient Greek mausoleum on the southwest side of the Acropolis dedicated to Gaius Julius Autolycus Epiphanes, a prince from the Kingdom of Commagene, today's Syria.